It's Saturday, the 27th of July, ladies and gents. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing. And welcome to another episode of the EPL Index Transfer Daily. There's a lot to talk about, and mainly it's a bit of a winger focus in the early stages. So, according to football transfers, Federico Chiesa, the Italy and Juventus winger, 26 years old now, only a year left on his deal with Juventus, important to say, is a target, and Tottenham lead the race for him, according to football transfers. There was interest from Arsenal and Liverpool, but it is Spurs that lead the race for him. And sticking, as we mentioned, on wingers, Anthony Gordon, there's been a lot of talk, hasn't there? There's links with him to Liverpool for obvious reasons after Newcastle inquired if they wanted to buy him. A lot of suggestions and various outlets sort of hinting that a new contract is on the table for Anthony Gordon, so we'll have to see. But Team Talk says they are confident of keeping him out of the clutches of Liverpool this summer, despite the obvious interest. So we'll have to see what happens. A lot going on at St James's Park. As a few reports had, it seems quiet on the incoming side, but outgoings, obviously there's talk now around Gordon, Kieran Trippier as well. Now he's got a year left on his deal. There's a lot of suspicion that they will look to move him on, and Saudi clubs have been linked, etc. The Times is saying, though, despite those links to Saudi, that Eddie Howe wants him to remain at the club for that year, the 33-year-old with a year left on his contract. Be interesting on this one, Newcastle fans, won't it? Because you think Paul Mitchell might be thinking, that's the last year, we're going to have to get some cash in for him, big wages, all those types of things, get him off the books. But Eddie Howe wants to keep him. How will that play out? We will have to see. One in an attacking sense that won't go away as well, Juan Duran, the Aston Villa forward. I mean, his agent's been doing a lot of talking. West Ham have definitely been interested. And the Standard says they're considering now an improved 40 million bid for the player. I mean, last talk had it that Villa had rejected an offer of 30 million plus Lewis Orford, who's a West Ham youngster that attracts Villa as well. So we'll have to see what happens there. And to finish the little winger bit as well, Brian Hill, the Spanish, what's a youngster, 23 years old, not really been in favour with Ange or at Spurs since he got there. He's of interest to Girona. Various outlets had that he wants that move to happen for him to go back to Spain. He's not gone on Spurs' pre-season tour, so he's not in career with them currently. So it would make sense all round, wouldn't it? Moving to the right-back situation. Now, West Ham's move for, I'm probably pronounced this wrong, apologies, but Nausir Mazraoui, I think it's pronounced, the Bayern Munich 26-year-old Moroccan right-back, collapsed, didn't it? It seems to be agent talk, according to Florian Plettenberg, or talks with the agent caused it to collapse. And Manchester United, according to Sky Germany and that same source, are back in the race to sign him. However, according to the local paper, the Manchester Evening News, he is looking for guarantees over playing time, which makes you wonder, well, is he going to get those? You think Dalot, you think Wan-Bissaka, but Wan-Bissaka very much is, it seems, on his way, according to various reports. And in fact, the Telegraph mentions it again. United discussed the possibility of swapping him with Denzel Dumfries. We mentioned this yesterday through various outlets, didn't we, as well? The Telegraph has it front and centre because we know Inter apparently like Wan-Bissaka. So that will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. And Football Insider even had that they might look at Trevor Chalobah. He's obviously not gone on Chelsea's pre-season tour. They're clearly looking to sell him. Will United move in that way? United are looking for defensive recruits, clearly, aren't they, United fans? There's no doubt about that. It's just the budget question. That's the biggest thing. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Moving to the continent, and there is a link to the Premier League. It's important to say as well. Nico Williams, according to Nicola Shirara, has reached an agreement with Barcelona, as have Athletic Bilbao. So it's going to be a 6-year contract, he suggested. On the continent as well, Marseille are looking at Eddie Nketiah, and according to La Provence in French, or in France, sorry, I should say, but published in French naturally, they want 42 million. I mean, if they can get anywhere near that, I suggest that's a great bit of business for Arsenal. And caught offside does have that. Eventually, when Kevin De Bruyne does leave Manchester City, Jamal Musiala is the top target. That would make all the sense in the world, unfortunately, for all of the fans of all the other Premier League clubs. We have to be honest and say it would. Yeah, a natural replacement there. City, though, are looking at doing some business now, even if De Bruyne stays. Yan Couto, their right back, Brazilian international, he's been on loan at Girona. We won't say anything about that. Done very well. Borussia Dortmund have now approached City about him and trying to make him a permanent signing. In fact, Athletic, just seeing it now, sort of late last night, had its advanced talk. So we will have to see there, ladies and gents. It looks like Chelsea is still trying to do the negotiation for their keeper, Philip Jorgensen from Villarreal. So that looks like it may happen one way or the other. So I won't be surprised if you hear something this weekend. And then want to finish on Erik ten Hag, because his comments, we talked about United, we've talked about Ugarte many a time, all these types of players. It's important that when asked yesterday, Erik ten Hag said, we are looking in all the positions to reinforce. We need a plan with the squad to make sure we're occupied in every area, which doesn't suggest the United's business is done. And it doesn't even suggest it'll be maybe just one player through the door. We expect and possibly revolving door. There's talks around McTominay, Wan-Bissaka to depart. Even Harry Maguire's a few outlets. He's got a year left on his deal. What will they do with him? Musiala's injured. And then, the incomings we said. Mazraoui now linked. We've seen De Ligt. We've seen all these players. It feels like it's going to be a busy summer still at Old Trafford, but it's a book balancing exercise at the same time. So there we go, ladies and gents. Saturday, the 27th of July. A lot of the pre-season games are starting, aren't they? Liverpool, City, all these teams, Arsenal have all played. So no doubt you'll be keeping your eye on those as well. But from a transfer perspective and from the EPL Index Transfer Daily, that's us signing off.